Con. Shalom, shalom, Israel, peace. My name is Yawana, and you know, hey, Lord's voice is an edifying lesson. Of course, before I start this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim HaKakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, our teachers. Shalom to the brothers out here pushing this truth and all righteousness and sincerity. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect scattered abroad, being grafted in under the obedience of this truth through the spirit of faith. All right, so, again, I pray this lesson is edifying to you brothers out there and your sisters who are continuing to strive for this truth and believes on the true names of the Heavenly Father Yahweh, which means he exists, in the name of his only beloved begotten son Yahweh Shai, all right, who was sent into this world to die for the repentance and forgiveness of sins to the nation of Israel, man, starting with which consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, man, all right, or any of y'all who are scattered amongst the nations and look like the nations that you're scattered in, but I've pretty much believed on this truth, man, through the spirit of faith given unto you. All right, shalom to all y'all. But again, the title of this lesson is going to be the Deliverance of the Elect, man, because only the elect is truly going to be saved in the end of this world, man, in the end of Esau Edom, which Esau Edom, according to the scriptures, is a so-called white man, which we know today. All right, and Esau Edom's kingdom is coming to an end, man. Babylon the Great, which is America today, but in the scriptures, America is known as Babylon the Great, and Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed for all the wickedness, all the evil, and all the lies and robbery and atrocities committed to our people, man. All right, so this place is destined for destruction, and Lord willing, us who believe, we're destined for salvation, man. All right, so again, the deliverance of the elect, which I want to go into this video real quick, which is a Foot Locker advertisement that aired in 2019. But it just goes to show you, man, these damn Edomites, they know more than you think, man, because according to the book of Psalms, 83rd chapter, it tells you that all the nations are confederate against thee, man, against the nation of Israel. And they said, let us come, and cut them off from remembrance, so the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. If you paraphrase, man, so these different nations that came together and have orchestrated different ways and plans that they can keep the name of Israel and who we really are as a people out of the history books, out of the school systems, But now that we're coming close to the end, hey, man, Yahweh Shai has brought us back to life, has quickened us by the way of the Spirit given unto us. So now we see things a lot differently. Now our perception is a lot deeper, man. And, little small things don't fly over our head no more. Now we're starting to be more in tune with the Spirit, through the mercy of Yahweh Shai. So this commercial, some of the brothers were talking about it at camp and actually didn't know about it until last camp. So I wanted to go and do a lesson on it. Lord wills, edifying. We're going to play the video maybe once or twice, and then we're going to go get some precepts, Lord willing. So let's get into it, man.
Cities are reeling as the meteor storm, zombie epidemic.
I'm actually going to put this full screen so y'all can see it.
Cities are reeling as the meteor storm, zombie epidemic, and alien encounters continue unabated. Safe to say, this is the best week ever.
What are you doing? Run! It's the week of greatness. What you doing? It's really happening! This is a real thing!
Nah, man. This is the real thing. Are you wearing the new Icon Clash?
I need this in a size 8.
I need a 6.
I need this in 16. I got you.
Not today.
Is it dead?
Clash not dead.
every time I see this, every time I watch this ad, man, I've sat here and played it like 5 times. It blows my mind, because these damn devils, man, they know the truth. All right, but only to a certain extent. They know who we are, and they know what those so-called UFOs are going to come and do. It's the UFOs are known as the chariots, man, in the scriptures that are going to be our deliverance out of this place when all out destruction hits Babylon the Great, man. All right, so that's the only way out of here. All right, and as you can see, listen to what he says, man. Listen closely. All right, because these devils, they know certain things, and you look and you see every time there's always in these movies like Independence Day or Battle for Los Angeles, man. It's always when the chariots come, it's always a war, man. You see, because that's scriptural too. That when Yahushua comes, it says in the book of Revelations that they're gonna make war with the Lamb in the book, and the Lamb is Yahushua. All right, and you go into Second Ezra, the 13th chapter. It says that all the nations were gathered together to subdue him that sat upon the mountain, which that mountain was described as being that chariot that's 30,000 times the size of the earth, man, and it's gonna cover the whole earth and darken out the sun. All right, so that's the power and great glory that Yahushua is coming with, man, on that graven mountain. And Ezra said, that he couldn't see the end of it nor the beginning of it. That's how big that chariot is that Yahushua is coming back on, which isn't displayed in this video. Really only the chariots are displayed, but not that graven mountain which he's coming back on. But the point is, it says in the Second Ezra, the 13th chapter, that all the nations were gathered together to subdue him that stood upon the graven mountain. Or if you paraphrase it, man. So all these nations are going to try to make war and try to fight the angels, man. And how crazy is that? The elect is going to be beamed up, and they're going to try to still fight these fourth dimensional angels, man, which is impossible. They're going. The scriptures talk about them prevailing not, But as you can see, man, these are the same vehicles that, Lord willing, that we're going to be delivered into, man, and you got to believe it. Let's go back a little bit. It blows my mind every time, man. The elect. That's what he's saying. The elect. And that's exactly what our salvation is going to look like, man. All right. Let's get this. Go back. All right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 31, and verse 5. It says, as birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem. And Jerusalem was a people before it's a place, man, the Israelites. All right, so this is who he's talking about. But see, he's only going to be defending the elect of Israel, man, those who turned back unto him, all right, through his mercy and grace that he had on them to return unto him, man. It says, as birds flying, and birds fly in formation as well. All right, so when Yahushua comes, it says the chariots of the Lord are 10,000 and even thousands of angels, man. That's who he's coming back with. As birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it. You see, defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it. So you see, he's going to be passing over. Why? Because he's going to be in the heavens, man. When Yahushua comes back on that massive sized chariot, he's come back with tens and thousands of other chariots, man, which are the angels, all right, which are going to help deliver the elect from the four ends of the earth, described in matter of fact, let's just get that real quick. Described in Matthew 24th chapter. All right, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. You see, it's going to be in the heavens, man. That's where Yahushua is coming. All right, that's where he's coming from. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. That's talking about with the chariots, man. Him being on that graven mountain with all the other angels and all the other so-called UFOs that are with him, man. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect. You see, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven unto the other, man. So the angels are going to be gathering together the elect scattered abroad, because again, we're still scattered, man. You have brothers in Dutch, you got brothers in Australia, you got brothers in Hawaii, you got brothers everywhere, man. It's not just America, but a huge portion of Israel is going to be here in Babylon the Great. All right, but you got brothers scattered everywhere, man. So the angels are going to be, given that order to go and gather the elect from the four ends of the earth, man. All right. You see, because again, Isaiah 31 and 5, as birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem, Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it. Again, because he's coming from the heavens. It says, and then shall they see the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, man. All right, and the heaven is talking about in so-called space, all right, which would be the sky. You know what I'm saying? That's where he's coming from, man. And passing over, he will preserve it. He's going to preserve his elect, man, in those chariots. All right. This is the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 16. It reads, for the Lord himself shall descend from heaven. You see, for the Lord himself shall descend from heaven. You see, from the sky, from the heavens above, with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of the Most High, and the dead in the Mashiach shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain, you see, and you go and look up that word remain in the I believe that's the let's get that real quick. Might as well just get it. So I'm right here already. It says, and we which are alive and remain.
Strong's G 4035. Perilipomai. Perilipomai.
All right, and that's in the Greek. And that means to leave over, to remain over, to survive. Okay, because we know, I believe that's Matthew 24 chapter as well. It says, and he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved, man. All right, so those who pretty much endured, man, because the elect is going to get the victory, man. And a lot of, I won't say a lot, but some brothers, man, it's prophesied that there's going to be some who are beheaded for the testimony of Yahweh Shai, man. All right, so even those that died in Hamashiach are gonna, they're still gonna be in those chariots, man. All right, but those who survive to the end, who are alive, they're also going to be delivered up into those chariots, man, to the clouds. All right. It says, I'll read it from here. It reads, then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. All right, you see, and so shall we ever be with the Lord, man. So hey, we're never gonna have to come back to this poverty. We're never gonna have to come back to being low. We're never gonna have to come back to this wicked flesh, because we're gonna be changed. All right, and that's a huge thing, man. That's a huge thing. We're gonna be changed. All right, matter of fact, let me get that. And I believe it's Philippians, the 3rd chapter. Yeah, kindly pull that real quick, brothers. Bear with me. This is the book of Philippians, chapter 3 and verse 20. It reads, for our conversation is in heaven, for whence also we look for the Savior, the Lord Yahweh Shah Mashiach. Right, so everything we talk about, man, it's always spiritual things, man. Our conduct, the way we move, how we conduct ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like it says in Joshua the 1st chapter, I believe the 8th verse. It says, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day in and day night, that thy ways mayest prosper. Or if you're paraphrasing, so our conversation is in the heavens, man. Our conversation isn't, what I'm saying, on focused on things on the earth. It's more focused on the spiritual things, man, on salvation. Sometimes you get together with the brothers and y'all might talk about, just speculate, what it might look like in the kingdom, or continue to motivate each other to believe, what I'm saying, giving each other new scriptures that you learned, things of that nature, man. And verse 21, who shall change our vile body, that it may be fashioned like unto his glorious body, according to the working whereby he is able even to subdue all things unto himself. Right, so who shall change our vile body? This is a vile body, man. I believe Apostle Paul said, who shall change me from the body of this death, from this body of death, or if you paraphrase in the book of Romans. All right, so this flesh is corruptible, even as Apostle Paul also said, in my flesh dwelleth no good thing. All right, so hey, man, that's why we need to be delivered from our flesh, and we also need to be delivered when the nuclear missiles start flying, because World War III is prophesying the scriptures. As it says, the second woe is past and the third woe cometh quickly. Now, third woe is World War III, and it's going to come quickly, man. It's going to be here before you know it. That's why you got to seek the Lord now, man, because when these days come, man, when those missiles start flying, you want to have a place, of protection, man. And that's only going to be in those chariots. All right, read that again. Who shall change our vile body that it may be fashioned like unto his glorious body, man. That's talking about Yahweh's body. He's perfect, man. And we're going to be made perfect by the law of being written in our minds, man. All right, that will never go off. All right, who shall change our vile body that it may be fashioned like unto his glorious body, according to the working whereby he is able to even subdue all things unto himself. All right, you see that? So, hey, it's going to be a beautiful day, man. We're going to, the Lord willing, be beamed up. And just as that dude in that video, the elect. You see, and these damn people, they put the truth in plain sight. You see, because somebody else, this just seems like a joke. It's funny. But this is really what's going to happen. This is spiritual, man. Like it says in the book of 1 Corinthians, the first chapter, he that is spiritual, judgeth spiritual things with spiritual, if you paraphrase it, man. So, hey, man, this right here, this is what's gonna happen to the elect of the nation of Israel, man. They're going to be caught up into those clouds, man. When you pretty much go into that word caught up in the let's go to that real quick. Because it says, and we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds. All right, when you go to that word caught up, let's get it.
Strong's G 726. Harpazo.
And it says to seize, carry off by force. Woo! And that's heavy, man. The brother Elder Karat is off from out here in the GMSAZ Karat camp, man, that we go to, me and the brother Abu Bayaf, my brother as well. He had brought this out one time, man. It's always stuck, man, because that's heavy. To seize, carry off by force, to seize on, claim for oneself eagerly, to snatch out or away. So, hey, when those angels are given that command to go get the elect, man, they're gonna snatch them from the four ends of the earth. All right, scriptures talk about in a twinkling of an eye, we shall be changed, man. Being delivered up into those chariots and being changed from this vile body and likened unto Yahweh's body, man. So we're gonna be changed from this vile body and be fashioned like unto Yahweh's body, is what I meant to say. All right, and that's a heavy definition, man. To snatch away, to claim for oneself eagerly, to carry off by force. All right, so hey, man, if we are the elect, Yahweh Shai, man, he's gonna deliver us, man. As it says, as passing over, he will preserve it. That's a heavy definition. All right, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 15 and verse 1. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of the Most High. And those 7 last plagues is describing those nuclear missiles, man. All right, because that 7, number 7 is a number of completion, and this prophecy, this destruction is going to be the last destruction, which is going to usher in the coming of Yahweh, man, to deliver his elect from the four ends of the earth. All right, ultimately ushering in the kingdom of heaven, because we know, pursuant to 2 Ezra 6-9, for Esau is the end of the world, but Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, man. That's the kingdom of heaven that's going to follow right after the destruction of this place, Babylon the Great, man. All right, you see, and I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of the Most High. And to prove that, let's go to Zechariah 14 and 12, those 7 last plagues being those missiles. Zechariah 14 and 12, it says, and this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem, which again, Jerusalem was a people before it was a place. So, hey, this is talking about, he's gonna come and plague all those that have fought against us, man, whether it be 2/3 of our people and Esau and these other nations, man. It reads, their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. All right, so what's going to have the power to be able to do that, man? You go and look at Sarah Connor in that Terminator 2 Judgment Day, or Terminator Judgment Day, or whatever it's called, and go to the nuclear scene, man. She was straggling onto that fence, and when that nuclear bomb hit, it pretty much wiped her out. And all she was left with on that fence was her bones. And that's pretty much what's going to happen, man. Those nuclear missiles are going to hit, and their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. That nuclear radiation, man. Or that nuclear heat that's going to vaporize a lot of people, man. And their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. All right, so that's what's going to happen, man, as it's described in 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter. All right, that scene that the day of the Lord cometh as a thief in the night. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick, because I don't want to roughly paraphrase it wrong. So let's just get it. This is the book of 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 12. Looking for in haste. I'll start at verse 11. Seeing, actually, no, I'll start at verse 10. Salakia, this is what I wanted. 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. And that's talking about the earth. You know, that earth is going to pass away with a great noise, and that noise is going to be the pretty much the hitting of those missiles when they touch ground on this place, man. You know. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. See, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. All right. You know, so that's what's going to happen, man. This place is going to get burnt up by nuclear missiles. And that's going to be the plague that's going to plague 2/3 of our people in Esau, Edom, and parts of these other nations, man. That's that plague that's talking about in Revelations 15. All right. Revelation chapter 15 and verse 1. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of the Most High. Right. And those missiles are going to have the spirit of Yahweh Shai right behind them, man. You know, as it says in 2 Ezra chapter 16 and verse 13. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, and the arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world, man. You know, and those missiles are those arrows it's talking about in that are, again, those nuclear missiles, man, which are going to be shot from one end, from one nation to another nation, man, hitting Babylon the Great, because 200 million missiles are going to hit this place, man. Described in the book of Revelations, 200,000 and 1,000 horsemen, which those horsemen are talking about, again, those arrows, which are those missiles, which are going to hit this place, man. All right, when those missiles begin to penetrate the land of Babylon the Great, man, it's going to be a great destruction. All right, and the only way that you're going to be able to get out of it or be safe from that is if you're delivered into these chariots, which only the elect is going to be delivered into these chariots, man. Revelations 15 and 2, and I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and that sea of glass is describing the bottom of the chariots that the elect are going to be looking down on, looking at the destruction of Babylon the Great. Like it says, I believe that's Psalms the 91st chapter, thou shalt behold and see the reward of the wicked. And that's going to be the reward of the wicked, man, for 2/3 of our people, and for the wicked, Esau, Edom. It's going to be that destruction, man, to partake in that nuclear fire. You see, it says, and I saw as it were a sea of glass mingle with fire, and it's mingled with fire because of the fire from those missiles coming up, man. All right, and that sea of glass, again, is the bottom of the chariot that the elect are going to be in. And them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High. And they sing the song of Moses, the servant of the Most High, and the song of the Lamb, saying, great and marvelous are thy works, Lord, power almighty. Just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints. All right, so that's going to be the elect praising Yahweh Shemel Shai, man, when the time comes. All right. You see, because the indignation of the Lord in that day, man, is not going to be drawn back, man, but he's going to fully execute it. You know, he's going to fully execute that which he said he was going to do. And he said he was going to destroy this place with a great destruction, man. You know, this place is through. Because as you go in 2 Peter, it's the 3rd chapter right here in verse 7. 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 7. But the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire, man. You see, when you go into that word reserved, it pretty much goes into kept specially in store for someone or something. All right, so Yahweh Shai has kept in store, like it says, kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. So Yahweh Shai has that day reserved for the ungodly of our people and for the ungodly Esau Edom, man. You know, and nobody's going to be able to change that, you know. So let's end it out with this. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 26 and verse 20, and it reads, come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers. And those chambers are those chariots, man, that Lord willing, Yahweh Shai will have mercy on us to be delivered into when those missiles start flying. And shut thy doors about thee, hide thyself as it were for a little moment until the indignation be overpassed. All right, so when those missiles start flying, which is going to be the righteous anger, Yahweh Shai executing judgment on the wicked of our people and Esau Edom. All right, we want to be delivered into that, man. You know, until that indignation is overpassed. You know. So again, I'm gonna play this one more time, so y'all can see it. If got anybody in the comment board, probably not. Let's go.
Is it dead?
Class not dead.
He's a lit. He's a lit. He's a lit.
And that's exactly what it's going to look like, man. You know? Be beamed up, be changed, and have the law written on our minds, man, that will never go off. And that's something that we should be looking forward to. As it says, wherefore comfort one another with these words, knowing that that day will come, and it is coming, man. By the manner of signs that were being shown in the earth, we know that our Lord Yahweh Shai is on the way to Lord will and redeem us, man. You know, if we keep on doing what we're doing diligently and faithfully, he'll come and get us soon, man. You know, we just got to be faithful and wait on the Lord. All right. So again, Lord will, this was edifying, man, to you brothers and you sisters out there that are striving for this truth. Of course, always before us in this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, our teachers. Shalom to the brothers out here pushing this truth on our righteousness and sincerity. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect scattered abroad, being grafted in under the obedience of this truth, their spirit of faith. Before I end this lesson, I want to say Shalom, Kwame Asharala, and Abba Ball. Shalom. Stay up, stay strong, stay faithful, and continue to send up those prayers, man. All right, almost.